And we are here at Hollywood Smoke for another edition of 10 Count. I am Steve Kim, joined as always by Doug Fischer of RingTV and radio personality, the sports god, Dave Smith. Gentlemen, much ballyhoo deal that was announced last week. NBC will be getting into the sport of boxing full-time with the largesse of Al Haymon and his investment group. Now, some of the fights are being announced, and they're very good fights. We've seen this before, though, but is this the largest scale, and is this perhaps the most impactful television deal we've seen in about 25 years?
Well, I'm with NBC Sports Radio, so I'm in a small way involved with NBC, although probably nobody there has ever heard of me and knows who I am. But I think, on the one hand, it's a good thing that boxing's getting back on network television here. That's a very good thing, and whether it be NBC or NBC Sports Network. But will Al Haymon allow outsiders in? Is it going to be only his guys against his guys? Or is he going to do what's best for boxing and put the best matches together on NBC? But, Doug, wouldn't you think it is good that boxing's getting back on network television?
Oh, absolutely. And some of those dates are on NBC Network.
Prime time. Prime time.
Yeah, I think
five of them
are prime time. Now, if you get like a Deontay Wilder defending his WBC heavyweight title on primetime television, think about this. When was the last time we've seen a heavyweight championship prime time on network television?
I know.
It was
Larry
Holmes.
Ali Spink. Oh,
Carl the Truth Williams.
Call in 1985 in November.
Carl the Truth
NBC.
Williams.
There you go.
Yeah.
When we
I
were here,
that.
Oh, yep.
Doug, when
Williams
we
got robbed.
Hey, but you know what? That would be huge. Like that level, Showtime and HBO level championship boxing on primetime network television.
Fantastic.
Huge for the sport. So there's a tremendous opportunity that Haymon has, and I think a lot of people, even his rivals, people who don't like him, are kind of rooting for him. They don't want him to mess this up.
Kathy Duva told me, who, by the way, had that series ripped from her arms by Haymon, said to me, and she said to other people, we got to have this work. And I said, really? She goes, Steve, yes. Because if Haymon drops the ball here, it closes the door for the next 20 years. In other words, if NBC does well, and remember, this is a time buy now.
Right.
So with Al Haymon's own dime, he's going to put on better fights. And what did we say the last time we were here, Doug? One of the people on the spot for 2015 was Al Haymon.
Yes.
He's got to start making fights. Now, so the question is, Andrien Broner against John Molina, Danny Garcia against Lamont Peterson, Keith Thurman against
Guerrero.
Robert Guerrero.
Good fights.
We like those
I
fights.
like them. I like all three fights. Yeah, absolutely. He has to keep this up. Here's a question I have. When you have a stable of 150 fighters, are 20 dates enough?
Here's no. The NBC deal is only a facet of the overall plan.
Right.
Al Haymon is on a mission to get Park Place and Baltic Avenue. In other words, he wants to play Monopoly.
Okay.
He wants to get the railroad companies. He wants to pass.
What other networks is he going to deal with?
Spike TV, I understand. He did a time buy. NBC Sports, ESPN. He's going to be a presence.
I see.
And remember, he's got a roster of promoters that he's going to work for or with. Goosen, Yvonne Michelle,
DeBella,
Leon Margulies,
right?
DeBella.
Warriors boxing.
And that's the other issue, Dave. And I thought you brought up a very good point. Does this create a more fractured boxing landscape? I mean, basically, right now you have the Haymon group of guys, and then you have HBO, Golden Boy, and Showtime. In other words, we could talk all day about, well, let's unify the heavyweight titles with Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko. Dave, if you're Al Haymon, if you have a piece of the heavyweight title and you have the largest platform, NBC, are you ever really in a rush to make Wilder Klitschko?
Yeah, and he doesn't really have to play ball with anybody else the way he's got it going right now, does he?
No.
But how long does that last? That's having your own league.
Would he? Let me ask you guys a question. Would he put Pacquiao Mayweather, and he's close with Floyd, on NBC?
No.
But not on the network and make it a pay-per-view deal through NBC.
No. Well,
could he do that?
No, he couldn't do that contractually because Showtime has an exclusive.
Well, he's 2 fights left, right?
Well, okay.
What if Floyd fights twice more, and then he puts Pacquiao and Floyd together and deals through NBC and pay-per-view, and then they take all the money for themselves?
That's an idea for John Miller to kick around at NBC. But I think the other question is this. You're right. I suspected that Haymon was going to have a honeymoon period. The man's an intelligent guy. I think coming out of the gate, that they had to come out with strong fights that were eye-opening and within his bracket, if you want to call it that. Doug, my question is, can he sustain this over the long haul?
That's my question as well. And I think he can perhaps sustain it through 2015. Beyond 2015, he's going to have to work with other people.
You think so?
Yeah,
you think
he's
so?
going to have to. Absolutely. I certainly believe that. he's going to have to if he's going to get some of his younger fighters title shots. He doesn't have all the titles in all those divisions.
But that's our other point. What if he creates the own PBC title?
Right.
Makes his own UFC and he becomes the Black Dana White. Do you think fans will support that?
I don't think boxing fans will support that, because boxing fans are aware of other champions, other title holders who are with other promoters who are overseas, and they're gonna demand to see certain matchups. Once the Haymon intramural league plays itself out, fight fans are going to want to see some new blood in the mix. That's just how boxing fans are.
You guys old enough to remember Harold Smith?
Oh yeah.
Remember he's going to put everybody out of business, and he's got more money than that, and he was overpaying all the fighters, and well, he kind of shady. Nobody really knew who he was. Where's his money coming from? And it all collapsed with him. Do you see any similarity? similarities here with Al Haymon?
Not really. I think Haymon is smarter. I think Haymon is a lot more smarter, business savvy, and I think he's got a lot more talent.
And there's a key difference. There's a key difference. Harold Smith was ripping off Wells Fargo, while Al Haymon actually has real investors in Waddell and Reed. All right, well, that's it for this segment of 10 Count. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Dave Smith, till the next round, goodbye, everybody.